So next off, let's name the chart by double-clicking on the chart title name. So it will be quarterly income. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. And we have two axes, axis 1 and the second one. And both of these axes are names for either the horizontal or the vertical lane. So it will be quarterly income, or just let's leave the Q over here, and over here we'll say the income. Great. Let's zoom out a bit. Let's move this chart. Next off, we see that in the second quarter we have one column which is much higher. Let's change that and make this column a bit smaller. Here it is. The value is over here, 14,400. And by some coincidence, this is a sum of the entire column, and you can see what one single sum column can do. So 520 would be perfect here. And now you can probably see the effect that the trend line actually changed its position. Let's change it to a 111. It's quite nice. Okay, and you can see that the Q4 column is going down from Q1 to Q2 and slowly rises up in Q4. Okay, this is done. Let's maybe make the name of the title and the quarters and the names of the axes a bit bigger, so they will be much more visible. You have the Q here, you have the income over here. Okay, let's shrink the inside lane of the chart. Now we have the names in the outside. Okay, great. This looks pretty nice. And right now we have 4 quarters in four different product names. If we go back to the chart itself, you can see that we have actually proper data right now. So what we are going to do right now is move to the second sheet and actually copy the chart there, because we did this in here just to see how it would work with the data we have in this table. And this helped us a lot, because if I went to sheet 2 and created the tab over here, it would take me much more time, because I would have to switch from one to another, and I didn't want to divide my screen. And if you just do a simple copy-paste operation, it copies the exact same chart into sheet 2. Let's now change the sheet name into chart and sheet 1 into data. Perfect. And now we can delete the income. Okay, that's great. And now let's move on to chart 2, and let's just see how it would be printed out. So first off, you go to the file, then print, and you can see basically right now that it doesn't really look good, and we want it to be managed horizontally, not the whole page horizontally, not vertically. So to do so, we go to the portrait orientation and change the landscape orientation. Okay, great. You can see it's a bit better right now, but still it's not what you want. So let's change the margins to the narrow option. It moved a bit. And next off, let's do the scaling fit sheet on one page. And now we have the sheet fitted in here. But still, I'm not fully happy with this because we're using basically only this part of the page, but we can do something about this by going back to the to the chart. So first off, this is pretty bad right now because it covers up an enormous space. So what we can do is first off, let's move it to this space because it's not really used by the chart. But this doesn't really look too aesthetic, so let's change the format the legend a bit. Let's fill it with a white color, and right now it's a bit better. Let's just move it to the border of the page. Let's maybe zoom in a bit, move it up. Okay, this looks much better. Still, let's make it a bit bigger. Great. And now what we can do is shrink the entire chart. Not this way. First off, we would have to make the rest of the chart fit the big picture, and now we can shrink it to the proper size. Okay, now let's move a bit the chart title. Okay, and now let's check out how it would be printed out. So again, you have to go to File, then Print, and see it's much better right now. Okay, so it's one side printed, it's fitted on one page, which is pretty much awesome, but still we have some trouble here. You can see the name of the charts being in wrong places. You don't want the chart titles or the name of the axis to be collide or even touching the data or even being on the chart itself. So we have to go back a bit, shrink the inside lane just a small bit so it would work with us, move it to the right so we won't even have to touch the chart title. Great. And now you see that the axis titles are in proper places. We can change the place of the quarterly income to the left. Okay, awesome. And now let's move a bit the legend. Okay, that's looking pretty good right now. Let's do the file print again to preview. Okay, so now you have a proper chart which could be used in day-to-day basis. So what I want you to do next is actually print the file, but we want it to be printed out. Oh yeah. Again, we have to cancel and go back. We want to print it out, but not as a printer, but let's say as the Microsoft XPS document writer. Okay, and then we click print. We put it on desktop as the XPS file, lesson 15. Save. Okay, and now it should be on my desktop. Okay, here it is. And if I open it, you'll see that, yeah, this is how your page would look like if you printed it out in a color printer. Okay, great. This is the first file which I want you to save and send it out to us. Okay, so next off, let's go back to the file. We'll go back to the data chart, and what we will be doing right now is some formulas operations. So we have the sum, we have the average. So let's zoom out And you remember I used the if operation, and I told you many times that this is the most important one. So what I want you to do is type in the if. We will use it right now. And we have the logical value. If, let's say, this one is bigger than 300, then what I will be doing right now is actually verifying if the column B is bigger than 300, and if that happens, I want the age value to be either 1 or 0. So this is a simple true or false, basically. And just for the fun of it, we will use this for the entire table. This type of work is actually useful to tell you if your company or the company you're working for had enough income for a month. So let's say if this was Q1 and this wasn't $300, but let's say 300,000 or 30,000, depending on how big your company is. This would tell you that if in this quarter this product brought in enough income to be self-sustained. If you wanted it to stay on your market, if you wanted to continue selling it. So this is a great test to do that. Let's go back to home and continue with the testing. Great. Let's get this into the middle. And right now, we will do one more thing, which is the conditional formatting. So we want the color scales this time, but we will create a new role for that. So we want it to be two colors, either red or green. No, sorry, or green. We're not interested in any other, so let's use color based on their values, of course, and the minimum and the maximum. So number. If it's 1, then let's use it green, and if it's 0, then let's use it red. And let's click OK. Oh yeah, of course. The other way around. So this one will be red and this one will be green. I basically, because you have to use the minimum and the maximum and not the other way around. Okay, so now you can see that basically only once that we do in Q1 one of the products didn't bring enough income. And this is a perfect marker to tell you that you should you should think about this product regarding the first quarter. But to actually see this data properly, you would probably need to use the entire year, because this marker shows only once, but maybe some products will be problematic in more than 1 month.